So 7.07 introduced this new item to us called Aeon Disk. This item really stuck out to me when I was reading the patch notes because it's just such a weird item. This is why I want to discuss this item today. So what the hell does the item actually do? When your health goes below 80% due to hero caused damage, it procs. Not at 20% like one would think, but at 80. Wait, are we sure this is not a typo or something? Cause I swear it would make more sense if it were to. Nope, it really procs at 80%. So what's up with that? Moving on, when the item procs, a strong dispel is applied and you gain a 2.5 second buff that reduces all damage you deal and receive to 0. To clarify, taking damage from neutrals or Roshan won't trigger this item, and interestingly, it's the only item that gives a strong dispel, and as such, is one of the few strong dispels in the entire game. Also, take a look at this. It says it has been smuggled out of the Ivory Incubarium. Now, the Ivory Incubarium, I'm just kidding, nobody cares about the lore, other than of course Sir Action Slacks. Don't forget about the stats this item gives you. You get 250 health and mana, as well as 25% status resistance. To give you an idea, Lina's stun at max level stuns for 2.5 seconds, and Aeon Disk will reduce it to 1.875 seconds. It's built from Red Beyblade Arena, Blue Marble, and the most expensive recipe in the game for a total cost of 3,675 gold. So who can take advantage of this item? You guessed it right, initiators. An ancient issue of Dota, get it, ancient, is a hero that will try to initiate only to get counter-initiated on and consequently die before creating a decent initiation for their team. This item counteracts this. It allows heroes like Slaughter or Centaur to initiate without having to fear being immediately killed. Classic situation. Slaughter blinks in on their carry, opponent team notices and quickly turns on Slaughter, putting it at low health by the time his team has followed up, and essentially leaving his team without a strong middleman. Now, Slaughter can blink in on their carry, opponent team is unable to turn on Slaughter because in the next 2.5 seconds there's no way he's going to fall below 80% health, allowing his team to catch up and ensuring he will be there in their time of dire need. Obviously assuming that he's indeed on Team Dire, because otherwise he would have to be there in their radiant time of need. There's another interesting factor to Aeon Disk, however, which is countering a specific hero. This item not only counters heroes with burst damage such as Lina, Scarlet Mage, Lion, but also heroes with large teamfight ultis such as Magnus, Tidehunter or Beastmaster. Aeon Disk will help you against Linas because they can't just kill you in their Yule's combo. It's still possible, but it will take longer and just won't be that easy, and your team will be there to react. Also keep in mind that you're just half a second short of being able to blink away from anything. Similarly, if you're reverse polarities or something, you can't just die during it. In fact, if they follow up with huge damage, remember that you get a strong dispel, meaning that this item could very well be used for counter initiation. Who knows the old classic arcade game Super Puzzle Fighter? It's essentially PvP Tetris, and in this game there's a thing called second diamond strats. After 20 drops, both players will get a diamond, which will destroy all gems of the color it lands on, and send it to the other player. One would think that the faster you play, the better, but in this game it's quite the opposite. The player that gets this diamond later than the other one has an advantage, because with his diamond he also gets to send all the blocks that were sent to him by the other player's diamond, resulting in way more damage. I feel like Aeon Disk is similar. Imagine a Tidehunter with this item. He can figuratively turn around any fight, get initiated on, be dispelled by Aeon Disk, be like, and you have just counter initiated. Nonetheless, like any other thing in Dota, Aeon Disk is not guaranteed and requires planning and coordination with your team. This is unfortunately what Dota is just about, and that is why I should also mention that Aeon Disk is hilariously useless against some heroes. Namely, Venomancer with his long damage over time, and Enigma since Black Hole is a channel and thus can't be dispelled, even by a strong dispel. In addition, Aeon Disk is very weak when bought too early, as early in the game, an item that will merely buy you an extra 2.5 seconds is just not very good. It's good late in the game, when teamfights decide the entire game, but early, your death could mean nothing more than a tier 1 tower, or 30 seconds not being in your lane, or even absolutely nothing. Likewise, it requires you to actually be useful, so buying it when you aren't useful is not a great idea, and an item with an actual impact on the game should be considered instead. Here are some more interesting interactions. Even though in the patch it says that Sheepstick can no longer be dispelled, Aeon Disk will work even when you're hexed. It's also not affected by mute, although mute is supposed to disable your items. Aeon Disk will activate even when you're ulted by Disruptor with Aghanims, but you will obviously still be silenced while his ult is on the ground. As you guys will know, there's also a new item that dispels and mutes an enemy. The interesting thing is, Aeon Disk will activate while you're affected by Nullifier, but Nullifier can dispel Aeon Disk. Channeling abilities such as Rasta Shackles will be interrupted by Aeon Disk, with the exception of course being Enigma, because it's a ground targeted ability. To sum up, Aeon Disk is an excellent item for initiators and should be considered in the late game to ensure being able to properly initiate and stay relevant throughout the whole teamfight. Furthermore, it's good against teamfight ultis such as Reverse Polarity, as the Dispel will allow you to counter initiate. Alright guys, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, please leave a like and have fun with Aeon Disk.